Hello, welcome to Pez of the Mind, and okay, this is Opinion Junkies. Today our topic is games that inspired other games. So, here with me is Jim,
Hi.
yeah, and Mole over there.
Hello.
I am Anastasia Lazerbeam, pew pew. So yeah, I'll just get started with this in order of how I see you on Skype. Do you want to go first, Chriz?
Yeah, there's been loads. I'll go with the controversial-ish one first, because our rules were no rip-offs.
Yes.
However, as me and Pew discussed this one, we were like, yeah, we kind of want to include it. Saints Row,
Mm.
because it
Yeah.
started as just a GTA clone, but by the end of the series, it's become very different to GTA. As GTA went more realistic and lost everything that made it GTA, basically Saints Row went the opposite way and made it more over the top and fun. Like I used to love like on Vice City and stuff how it was just arcadey fun and you could look down in the river and there's a dude in concrete boots and stuff like that. And Saints Row's got that heart and spirit of what made Grand Theft Auto of like you can get like flying vehicles for no for with like hover bikes off Star Wars, or you can get Santa's sleigh, and there's loads of little Easter eggs to all the previous Saints Rows, and it's just fun. So I went with Saints Row because it's a good one, and just because and people may still like the GTA ones, but which is fine because we're not saying it's Rose to be better. That's not the list, but I'm saying it's Rose to be its own thing and equally good and filled a void for people like me that GTA just lost. So Saints Row.
Nice.
Woo! I would have totally done that one if you hadn't brought it up. All right, so Jim.
Uh, well, I have not played the original one because I don't do a lot of PC gaming, so I can't personally attest to this. But from watching videos and from what everybody has told me, and having played the one that was inspired by it, I play a lot of Overwatch, and from everything I've seen, that's heavily inspired by Team Fortress 2. It's a lot of the same co-op, team shooter play, different roles, people trying to work together not support the other team. While Overwatch is a little more over the top with their character themes and the variety of what the characters can do, it's very similar in terms of gameplay and the experience, as I understand it.
All right, so my first one was, and Mo mentioned it also, Silent Hill versus Resident Evil. How they kind of like, sort of blended into each other, like, telling from
Yeah.
one to the other.
Yeah.
They did to the point that the sequels, when one went more action, the other went more action, and it
Yeah,
was the downfall of both, in my opinion.
yeah,
Although Resident Evil has gone back to horror, so yay.
yeah, that's always good. All right,
Although
so yeah,
weird
that was
thing
mine.
is, Silent Hill almost went back to horror at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so Mo, what was your second one?
Next one I'll get off my list will be Sonic and Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you mean at the Olympics, or do you mean like
No,
in like?
Sonic and Mario, as in Sonic was inspired by Mario. Because
Yes.
as
Okay.
we said, it doesn't have to be inspired just out of love for the series. It can
Mhm.
also be for the monies. And Sega needed a new mascot, so they went with Sonic. But the two games are very differently. As like Mario's more structured and what you can do, everyone can figure out, and there's stuff for it. And Mario is cool in that regard. Sonic's more physics based, so if you hit stuff at certain speeds, you will go suddenly different parts of the map to what you were meant to go. Sometimes unlocking secrets, and it's a lot more platformingy than Mario has been in some games. Which is why Sonic's on the list, because yeah, it's a great game, and yeah, Mario and Sonic are both great games, but they inspired each other in a lot of ways. Like when Sonic 3 came out, went a certain ways, Mario decided to try and make it more over the top with different stuff, and it was just fun.
Yeah. All right, Jim.
Nice. Another one that I thought about, and this, some people might call, I don't say a clone per se, but some people might say too heavily inspired. But the rather obvious that the Uncharted franchise was heavily inspired by Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I'd call that a clone.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure.
It's literally, ironically, Tomb Raider before it got released. Tomb Raider, before it got released, was actually a male Tomb Raider.
Really? Huh.
But when they looked at him, they said, "Ooh, that's too much. We think that's people are going to look at this game as you're trying to rip off Indiana Jones. Maybe we should make a female." So they did. Then Uncharted came out and ripped off that and was like, "Oh, okay, we're not fine. We're not a rip off of Tomb Raider and Indiana Jones. We'll prove it by having Harrison Ford in it."
Harrison Ford was in it?
He was in one of the trailers heavily at the beginning, always playing. I think it was Uncharted 3.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yep.
But still, it had some uniqueness because it did kind of, even though a lot of it was the same, they did change up the combat a little bit. And they did kind of do its own story thing, which was a lot of fun. And he didn't, Drake didn't necessarily have the whole heritage of inheriting all the exploration thing from his father, everything like that. Laura had the richer backstory. Whereas Drake's was just more, I'm a guy from the streets, and I took on this heritage of Drake because I found out about this, and then we found out the whole thing about his brother and four, and the stories differentiated enough that it made them unique. I think, even if the gameplay was incredibly similar.
To be fair, the combat was incredibly similar in the original Tomb Raiders too.
Okay, I haven't played any of the Tomb Raiders before.
Like the original Tomb Raider stories, she had a load of sidekicks. A lot of them were like the Uncharted sidekicks.
Yeah, okay. Like I said, I haven't played anything from before the recent Tomb Raider reboot, Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider, so I can't attest.
Fair enough.
But I can't say definitely comparing the two now that the Tomb Raider franchise is definitely better than Uncharted from the two that I've played, and the 4 Uncharted games, obviously.
All right, fun stuff.
Indeed.
So mine next one was Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time and Braid.
Did you write yours on paper? What is this, the Dark Ages?
I did write on paper.
I mean, I know you're sitting in the dark, but you're taking this gimmick a little too far.
Yep, you heard it here, folks. The librarian says don't read stuff off paper.
Even though since paper trees bring money, sometimes if paper trees stop making money, they'll cut down those trees and put a mall that makes money. So by going paperless, you're actually hurting trees sometimes.
Do you understand the word of that mall?
Chopping down trees because the trees are making money, and they'll replant them when they need the paper for money. So it's a sustainable thing.
But they don't always we don't always replace them. That's been the problem for years.
Yeah, but when you go paperless, they don't need any of them. So.
But they do to breathe. Thus, they keep them. They only chopped them down because they needed them.
Yeah, well, how much do you really need to breathe? I'm sure we'll find a percentage and go 1 point below that. Anyway, but
they are good. They are good games.
Yeah, so Sands of Time, and you can go back in time, but Braid can do it any time they want, and that's like if you've seen the indie movie, indie video game movie, he mentioned it in there as well. So that he was super inspired by that game to make his own game.
Yeah. It's also fun, in my opinion at least, to look at the Prince of Persia series anyway, because while this wouldn't be on our lists, Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because look at the gameplay of Prince of Persia and Assassin's Creed with the climbing and stuff, very similar. But because they're both Ubisoft, they pretty much evolved Prince of Persia into Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or at least in my eyes, they did.
I could see it.
Yep. All right, so next is Mo. Again, if you have more.
Okay, I have a lot more, but yeah. The next one I'll go with, Spider-Man 2 from Grand Theft Auto 3.
Ooh.
They took the side missions, the open world, and everything like that, but it wasn't a flat-out clone of Grand Theft Auto 3 either, because obviously you're not like picking up prostitutes, well, except for the go meet Mary Jane missions, but it's a case of thank you, But it's a case of Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 2, the way the game was structured was based on GTA, but the fact you were Spider-Man, you were web swinging all the and not stealing cars and stuff was very different too. It just started that open world craze, which now has become a point where we don't need everything to be open world, but it's still nice when they do it well.
My balloon.
Yep.
That's so annoying.
All right, so Jim.
I only had one more that I came up with, and ironically, it's good that Mole went where he did because I can tie right in. Because another game that heavily inspired itself off of when Grand Theft Auto 3 came out was Jak 2. Because ironically, that started off as a basic platformer franchise that almost was reminiscent of like a Crash Bandicoot type game, with maybe a little bit more, beating up. Because even he did a spin kick versus Crash's spin. I mean, they're both made by Naughty Dog. I shouldn't be shocked by this, but it was almost more like, okay, this is like our Crash Bandicoot for this generation. And then Grand Theft Auto 3 came out right around the same time as the first Jak and Daxter, and they were like, oh, that's really popular. Let's send Jak 100 years into the future and make it like that. It's like, okay. And then you were in a big city, and you could steal people's random hover zoomers, and you could go do missions in any order from different people, and you were given a gun and could shoot things, and yeah, solo prostitutes though.
Cool. All right, so my next one was Binding of Isaac, and then the later Don't Starve, and another one which I actually found out about, The Bear with the Black Heart. These are all like kind of roguelike games with a ridiculous amount of insane items you can collect, and you're pretty much just going through a map, destroying enemies while getting all like zany and crazy items and stuff. And well, Don't Starve added the survival. Don't Starve and Bear with the Heart, Black Heart added survival elements to it. They're basically, their whole thing is the zany items and stuff that happen to them, which crazy stuff like Binding Isaac was doing it like really like a while ago. So. Well, I should say check out The Bear with the Black Heart. That's like the cool, the more indie, I guess, if you want to, has more original ideas and stuff.
Nice. My next one.
Now it's back to Mo. Yeah.
My next one, I went with Diablo, inspiring the X-Men Legends series, which would eventually become Marvel Ultimate Alliance. They're both great games, and they're both great top-down games, but Marvel's X-Men Legends obviously did some different stuff, like it made it more suitable for a console. It was more, I know you'd call it, but more action-y or a little bit more casual too, but it needed to be. And it had all the X-Men and stuff on there, and it was just great. X-Men Legends. I loved those games.
Cool.
And of the Ultimate Alliance with even more cool Marvel characters.
Yep.
That was fun.
And that evolved into Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, which is a pile of shit.
Yep.
Alright, well, my next one, if Mo wasn't going to take this, I was going to say the Mario parties.
I did have a Mario Party one.
Oh, did you?
Yes, but but I don't know if it's the one you had.
Oh, I was going to go for the one with the Sega whatever. Was it Sega Sync? Sega... Shit, I forget. I'm trying to remember the name now. It was a Sega Mario Party one.
They did a Sonic one, but I don't know if that's the one you're on about, because that would be a flat-out clone. It was literally just Sonic Mario Party at that point on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, okay.
And the one I was telling you about before, and I was like, yeah, that was a flat-out clone.
Yeah, well, they also had Wii Party, which, but I guess you could say it's still Nintendo. So, but Me Party.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And don't forget that Animal Crossing one on Wii U.
Oh yeah.
The one I had for Mario Party, I took Universal Studios on Nintendo GameCube.
Cool.
Because while that wasn't a flat out 100% clone, because we're not after clones, we're actually inspired by, it was that inspiration of here's a collection of mini games while using a different brand of Universal. So you had like the Back to the Future game on there, Woody Woodpecker's quizzes, you had backdraft stuff, you had Jurassic Park stuff in there, and it was cool.
Jaws.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly an amazing game. Parts of it sucked balls, but it was at least a good idea and a good execution. And you know what I mean. And it wasn't entirely flawed.
I can't wait to go to Universal. I can't wait till we go to Florida and go over to Universal so I can ride the rides by picking up garbage.
Mm-hmm. And back to Pew, unless that was Pew's last one.
Oh, that was my last one.
I'll throw one out real quick just because this is technically more of a clone than anything else, but I'm just thinking about it. But PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale off of Smash Brothers.
Yep. Well, they did do some differences, I suppose, but yeah, that was definitely their version of Smash Brothers.
Yeah, which unfortunately didn't do as well, which is too bad because the characters and all the ultimate stuff were actually really fun in that game. They weren't Smash Brothers levels of fun, but they were fun.
Whoa, not all the characters were fun. We here at the X-Pound do not condone Dante.
Ha! Oh, that's true. Fair enough.
Or Nathan Drake. But yeah.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not. The other ones I had on my list then, since everyone else is used theirs, I had Dark Souls and Legend of Zelda, as the guy who made Dark Souls and stuff said he was inspired by Legend of Zelda. He also says he feels, I don't know what you call it, but he doesn't feel worthy when people compare the two in terms of gameplay and stuff. But he did set out to make his own, and it was a very different game to Legend of Zelda, but he was inspired by it.
Well, technically, you could make an argument that the majority of fantasy franchises and video games were inspired by Legend of Zelda in some way or another.
I'd make the case they were all inspired by Lord of the Rings, but yeah.
Boom.
Well, from a game perspective, anyway.
Yeah. But the other one I had, Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing and Mario Kart. Because unlike, say, Madagascar Kart, which I know I've mentioned that before, because
why is that a thing?
That just annoyed me, along with Angry Birds Kart and Garfield Kart and stuff.
Yeah, Crash Team Racing wasn't that good either.
Yeah, but they just felt like Mario Kart clones without anything new. And while a lot of gamers did the thing of, lol, it's just Sonic Mario Kart without actually playing it, it was very different, Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing to Mario Kart. While it was the same concept, it was one celebrating all of the stuff across Sega, not just Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
It was also more, I know you'd call it, but more skill rewarded. Like, if you were up in front first, you would probably stay there more because it had less rubber banding. Like Mario Kart, people at the back always get weapons and stuff that boost them the fuck forward. Whereas this one, it was there was more skill, like the drifting skills and stuff, and even their unique special abilities that each one had was cool and original, and yeah, they did a lot of stuff cool. It's like, yeah, Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing and Mario Kart.
Nice.
And next one, Hogs of War inspired by worms. Hogs of War was basically similar concept, similar gameplay to Worms and stuff, but pigs. And they walked around. It was 3D because this was before Worms 3D, and it was on PS1 and stuff. But they also added the element of each pig having a unique ability or unique class. Like there was a healer pig. There was a pig that could like disguise himself as a box. Then there was, you know what I mean? There was like different.
You a solid snake pig?
Sort of, but there was like loads of different types of stuff they could do. Instead of worms, where it was like one worm at the time could do everything. In Hogs of War, you had classes and you would use them a little bit more strategically. And next one I had, and I only got two more. This one is a joint one, but Disney Infinity and Lego Dimensions Skylanders.
Yeah.
Only, in my opinion, out of them, Lego Dimensions was the best, as it had the solid Lego gameplay already built up for years, then imported into this, and it had more unique licenses.
Yeah.
Disney could have done this, but when they but they only used the Disney and Pixar one. So the first one, cool. The second one was mainly Marvel. Third was just Star Wars. So it kind of shot itself in the foot with what its brands were. Instead of, like, the third one should have been, well, I think they had one Marvel level. The third one should have been Marvel, Star Wars, and Marvel, Star Wars, and classic Disney and Pixar stuff that they've missed off. You know what I mean? So it was loads of stuff that Disney had. But they didn't do that for the other ones. But Lego, you had like Back to the Future, you got A-Team, Ghostbusters, you got the new Ghostbusters in year 2, you have Sonic, you have Back to the Future. It's just, there's loads in that one. There's even like
Harry
Wizard
Potter
of
and
Oz.
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, there's even Wizard of Oz and Homer Simpson and Batman and stuff. It's like, okay,
Scooby-Doo.
Cool. Yep. But it's like I said, there's loads. So yeah, but they were inspired by the concept of the toy to game thing, even if it was for the wrong reasons. The next one, which is a little bit of a weird choice, and this is my final one, was Theme Park or Roller Coaster Tycoon, but mainly Roller Coaster Tycoon because I think that came first. But I'm not sure with that. I can never tell which one came first. But Theme Park and Roller Coaster Tycoon. And the movies, because I loved that game on PC where you owned a movie studio and you built it up like you do the theme parks and stuff like that. But they added stuff where once you built them up, you could then make your own movie with the CGI stuff in there. And you can even go and add your own voice lines and dub the film, which with mods on PC, people were taking on like making Star Trek films because they took the Star Trek uniforms and ships for the set designs and stuff like that. It was just wonderful. The movies was really fucking awesome. And yeah, so I went with the movies. And that's our list. I'm assuming you guys have more. There's loads we left off. Ironically, I thought I didn't have enough on my list. I thought everyone would probably have more. But there's probably more people would have. Back to Pew.
All right, so that was us and our list. We'd like to know in the comments what kind of comparisons you have for games that inspired games. So make sure to drop us a comment. And we thank you for watching. So we'll see you on the next Opinion Junkies.